The United Kingdom, an island nation steeped in history, innovation, and global influence, is now facing one of the biggest challenges of our time: climate change. But how is the UK really battling the climate crisis? In this video, we'll explore the strategies, successes, and struggles of the UK's fight for a greener future. Like many countries, the UK is already feeling the effects of climate change. Heat waves, flash floods, and rising sea levels are becoming more common. The 2022 summer was one of the hottest on record, with temperatures reaching over 40 degrees, something previously unimaginable. According to the UK Met Office, climate-related weather events are projected to become more intense and frequent if urgent action isn't taken. In 2008, the UK became the first country in the world to legally commit to reducing carbon emissions. The Climate Change Act set legally binding targets for emission reductions, and in 2019, the UK went even further, committing to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050. This means removing as much greenhouse gas from the atmosphere as the UK emits, using a combination of clean energy, new technologies, and policy changes. One of the biggest tools in the UK's climate battle is renewable energy. The UK has invested heavily in offshore wind farms and is now one of the world leaders in wind energy production. As of 2024, over 40% of electricity in the UK is generated from renewables. Offshore wind powers around 8 million homes. The government aims to quadruple offshore wind capacity by 2030. And it's not just wind. Solar power is on the rise, and tidal energy projects are being tested in coastal regions like Wales and Scotland. The UK has made major strides in moving away from coal, with coal power now accounting for less than 2% of electricity. Most coal-fired power stations have already closed, but there's controversy too. Despite climate pledges, the UK approved a new coal mine in Cumbria in 2023, and has also pushed for new North Sea oil and gas drilling. Critics argue that this undermines climate goals, while the government says it's a matter of energy security and reducing dependence on imports. Transport accounts for nearly 25% of the UK's emissions. To tackle this, the UK government plans to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2035, offers grants and tax breaks for electric vehicle (EV) buyers, is expanding public transport, especially in cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham. There's also an emphasis on walking and cycling, with infrastructure investment and clean air zones in cities like Oxford and Bath. Another key battleground? Buildings. Heating homes is a huge source of emissions. The UK is rolling out initiatives to insulate older homes more efficiently, replace gas boilers with low-carbon heat pumps, encourage smart energy use through smart meters and grants for homeowners, carbon capture facilities, hydrogen-powered transport, research labs. The UK is also betting big on climate technology. Billions are being invested in carbon capture and storage, CCS, to trap emissions from industrial plants, hydrogen fuel for transport and heating, sustainable aviation fuels to clean up air travel. These technologies could make or break the 2050 net zero target, and the UK wants to be at the forefront. Climate change isn't just about carbon, it's about nature too. The UK is planting tens of millions of trees, restoring peatlands, and protecting endangered species. The government's Environmental Land Management Scheme, ELMS, pays farmers to manage their land more sustainably, protecting soil and wildlife. It's not all about government. People across the UK are making a difference, switching to electric cars, reducing meat consumption, supporting local farmers, and demanding more from politicians and businesses. Grassroots organizations, youth activists, and climate-conscious consumers are changing the landscape from the ground up. It's not all smooth sailing. The UK faces big challenges. Critics say policies aren't bold enough. Energy prices have risen, affecting public support for green measures. Some climate deadlines have been pushed back or watered down. Still, the pressure is mounting. For politicians, businesses, and all of us to act faster. The UK has made real progress, but there's still a long way to go. Climate change won't wait. The fight is urgent, global, and deeply personal. So, is the UK doing enough? Maybe not yet, but the path is there. The question is, will we walk it in time? The future is in our hands,